I think the WNBA, this is just my view, bro. They've established something and they built something, right? They got something of not just interest, but influence, politics in there. You got to have talent too, bro. Mm-hmm. It's a new wave that is here. Caitlin Clark gonna be a lot more smarter. She's gonna have a lot more to say. She's gonna have a lot more to, you feel what I'm saying?
When Caitlin Clark first took the WNBA court, she wasn't the dominant force we see today. Like many rookies, she struggled to adjust to the pro game's speed, physicality, and pressure. Indeed, Clark had moments of brilliance, but consistency was a problem. Kevin Garnett just dropped a bombshell about Caitlin Clark. The NBA legend's words are sending shockwaves through the WNBA. What did KG say that has everyone talking, and why is it putting the entire league on high alert? Some supporters began to question whether the excitement was genuine. But during the Olympic break, Clark had a secret weapon.
Guess what the one thing we got to talk about? We got to talk about the pace of the game. Dallas going to have to make the pace of the game quicker because they're not scoring enough. And in the summer, if you know what I'm saying, go back to where you at respectfully, have camps, have a whole bunch of program where you establish, bro. That's the move. And that's going to leave a lot of people out of it. And that's where we at. That's what I got to say, yo. Respect. Real shit.
For starters, what exactly was Clark doing during this break film study? While most players saw it as a chance to rest, Clark saw an opportunity and didn't just take a break. Instead, she put her preparation into high gear. You might think a rookie would use that time to unwind, perhaps catch up on some Netflix, but Clark was in full beast mode. Watching game footage for hours on end, examining defenses, and researching player tendencies, however, that wasn't all. Clark worked hard in the weight room because she knew she needed to get stronger to compete with the seasoned pros. She also practiced her shot, handles, and footwork constantly on the court. As a result, when she returned to play, she was a completely different player. Her development was accelerated by an entire year, and the Phoenix Mercury were about to discover how much she had improved. In that game against the Mercury, Clark didn't just play well, she dominated. We're talking 29 points, 10 assists, and 5 rebounds. However, even though those numbers are impressive, they don't tell the whole story. Clark's confidence was what really stood out. She wasn't playing like a rookie anymore. Instead, she was playing like she owned the court, making every move and decision with a swagger that said, "I belong here and I'm here to win." The Mercury's defense had no answer for Clark, who was analyzing their strategies, taking advantage of mismatches, and creating shots for herself and her teammates. It wasn't just that she was scoring. It was also how she was scoring clutch threes, acrobatic layups, and precise passes. Clark had it all on display, but perhaps the most impressive aspect of her performance was her poise under pressure. With the score close late in the game, Clark didn't back down. Instead, she made big plays when her team needed them most, which isn't something you often see from a rookie. This wasn't just a good game for a rookie. It was a statement to the entire WNBA that she had arrived and was here to stay. At that point, the league was officially on notice, and that's when Kevin Garnett, one of the all-time greats, took notice. Garnett isn't the type of person who throws around praise lightly. When he speaks, people pay attention, and what he had to say about Clark was the kind of insight that could alter the way we view rookie development in the WNBA. Garnett termed Clark's Olympic setback a blessing in disguise, pointing out something that many had missed.
This the first time we watching college basketball where I know more girls than guys. Name five guys in college right now, Pete. I know Caitlin, I know, you feel me?
I know the girls.
Man, you know what I'm saying? Shout to Dawn Staley too, man. The Gamecocks second year in a row.
South Carolina.
Going fucking undefeated. She can go right to any hood right now and get a bucket. That's what I'm saying.
If you gave her 30 minutes in an NBA game, can she get a bucket? I think so. I think she can get 10.
Clark had an unexpected pause during the WNBA season, which she took full advantage of. According to KG's theory, this break allowed Clark to make an off-season adjustment that most rookies don't get. It's as though she had a mini off-season in the middle of her rookie year, and the results speak for themselves. When Kevin Garnett talks, the basketball world pays attention, and what he said about Caitlin Clark has everyone talking. Clark isn't just any former player. He's a legend, a champion, and one of the most respected voices in the game. So when he drops a bombshell about a rookie, you know it's big. Clark returns stronger, smarter, and more ready for the challenges of pro basketball.
To Shorty. Caitlin Clark go through shit. I'm watching all. Man, rookies, you're gonna go through some shit. And guess what? When you got the bullseye on your back, when you it's gonna come with some shit. Bro, all this is gaming-ship. All this go with the game. All this, P, you know exactly what I'm saying. Bro, you have to come in here, bro, in the drill, all here, ready on the drill. You hear me? It's a sign of respect when niggas start doing this bullshit too. When they start nipping you and okay, I'm on here.
Garnett spotted something in Clark's game that most people miss. It's the kind of insight that separates good players from legends. He didn't just see her stats or her highlight reel. KG looked deeper into the very core of Clark's game. So what did Garnett see that had him so impressed? It all comes down to preparation. KG pointed out that Clark's performance against the Phoenix Mercury wasn't just raw talent, it was the result of serious work behind the scenes. In his words, you can tell she was in the film room. That's high praise from a player known for his own intense preparation. But Garnett's insight goes even further. He believes Clark's Olympic break was like a secret weapon. Most rookies don't get a chance to catch their breath and AD just mid-season. But Clark, she turned that break into her own personal training camp. KG called it an off-season adjustment, something rookies usually don't get until their first full off-season, and boy did it show. In her game, Clark came back looking like a different player, more confident, more in control. It's not just about Clark, though. Garnett's observation may alter our perception of rookie development in the WNBA. Teams may begin implementing more structured adjustment periods to help rookies adjust. But the real question is, how exactly did Clark use this secret weapon to dominate on the court? It's not just about getting stronger or faster. Most rookies are just trying to keep up with the speed of the Pro G game. They're reacting, not dictating. However, Clark returned from that break run. Perhaps the most amazing thing about Clark's improved defense is how she used her newfound knowledge to help her teammates. She wasn't just looking for her own shot. She was creating opportunities for everyone on the floor, which is the hallmark of a true leader. She was anticipating plays, getting into passing lanes, and causing havoc. It's like she downloaded the entire Phoenix Mercury playbook during her break. Garnett's insight reveals that Clark is not only gifted, but also intelligent, which is a lethal combination in the WNBA. She isn't satisfied with her innate skills and is always searching for ways to grow better, which is what distinguishes excellent players from great ones. What converts promise into production is not just what you do on game day, but also the hours you spend studying your opponents in the film room or working out in the gym when no one else is there. We're talking about Clark returning smarter, not just better. Basketball IQ at the next level. Everybody in the WNBA is going crazy over it. During the Olympic break, Clark was in full-on beast mode. She wasn't just working out. She was living in the film room and breaking down game tape like a seasoned pro, studying every move, play, and defensive scheme she might encounter. However, the real magic happened when Clark returned to the court. All of that preparation translated into pure basketball. How did a rookie make such a massive leap in such a short time while other players were catching their breath? Outstanding performance versus the Phoenix Mercury. Not only did Clark play, but she also orchestrated, called plays, directed traffic, and made split-second decisions that left the defense reeling. You know how most rookies are only trying to keep up with the pro game's pace, but Clark was always 2 steps ahead. It's as if she downloaded the entire WNBA playbook during her break and returned prepared to teach everyone. Let's break down what made Clark's performance so exceptional. First, her court vision was incredible. She wasn't just finding her defense. Clark was locked in, anticipating passes and disrupting plays before they could develop. It was as if she knew what the Mercury were going to do before they did. Clark broke down the Mercury's defense, calling out their plays before they were even set up. Most veterans don't do that, and most rookies don't either. But Clark made it look easy. You want to know how good Clark's basketball IQ is? Observe her off the ball. Most players tend to look away from Clark when they don't have the rock. She wins games by constantly moving, setting screens, and making room for her teammates, the kind of thing that doesn't appear on the box score. Let's also talk about Clark's poise under pressure. Late in the game, when things got tight, she didn't falter. Instead, she made clutch shots, made big plays, and most importantly, made the right choices. That's instinct, and Clark has it in spades. It's as if Clark pressed the fast-forward button on her career. She's no longer playing like a rookie, but rather like an Aller, an MVP candidate, and the WNBA is talking about it. But here's the real kicker. By setting the standard for what we expect from young players and demonstrating that rookies can take over from day one with the correct mentality and preparation, Clark is not just revolutionizing her game, but the WNBA as a whole. How often have coaches told us that players need time to get used to the professional game? Clark is blowing that notion out of the water. She's adjusted and completed it more quickly than anyone could have imagined.